Hello gorgeous people and welcome back to my channel. Before I get started, make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you like it and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on any new videos coming up. So today's video is one that I've been wanting to make for so long and just haven't felt that I could do it justice if I spoke about it, and part of me was nervous to make it because of that. And I don't know, just sharing my experience isn't something I'm very good at, but I've gotten better since talking about it more with you guys recently, and I feel like now's the perfect time to make this video. So this video has been at the back of my mind for like quite a few weeks, and I recently saw an article with Bella Hadid, who has Lyme disease, and I was reading her article, or like the interview she did, and she just mentioned, you know, being bedridden and that exercising makes her really fatigued and that she has to do yoga to stay fit rather than super intensive stuff like boxing. Like obviously she does boxing, but it makes her quite tired. And I don't know, it really resonated with me because I guess, you know, boxing's something I do, and just the fact that she's so successful and is doing so many incredible things, and yet at the same time she spends time down in bed that we don't see. And I just kind of saw a reflection of my life as far as, you know, I don't necessarily show you guys the days that I'm in bed, and you see my videos, you see my vlogs, but those days that I'm sick are usually either not in the vlog, I may briefly mention them, or on my Instagram I might put it in the caption, but even then, like, it's still not there as much as it happens in my real life. And obviously this isn't like a pity party. Like I don't need to tell you guys every time I'm sick, because that would just get annoying. Like, it's just a part of my life. It does impact it, but it just is what it is. And that's kind of the attitude I've had to learn to adopt. Like, I can't go, I wish I didn't have this, because at the end of the day, I do. I can't change the fact that I have a chronic illness, nor can anyone else who has a chronic illness. So before we get started, let's define a chronic illness. So basically when I say that, I mean anyone who has something that impacts their lives daily or constantly, like chronically. So that could be Lyme disease, that could be lupus, that could be Crohn's disease, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, which I have, anxiety, depression, like the list goes on. There's so many of them, and it's crazy that no one really talks about it much. Like, it's kind of like, you know, we hear about mental health and all of that, but it goes hand in hand with living with a chronic illness and stuff like that. We're getting more awareness of mental health, which is similar to chronic illness in the sense that you can't see necessarily what the person is going through. Obviously there are chronic illnesses that people can see that something is wrong with them, but there are also a lot that you can't see. And that to me is quite challenging, because on the outside you look fine, but on the inside you can feel so fatigued and just yuck, but people can't see that. So there's gonna be a lot of quoting stuff because I read stuff about it, but there was something I saw and it was like, no one ever fakes being sick, but they fake being well. And that is so true as someone who has a chronic illness. Like, I would never fake being unwell. These are the cards I got dealt. It was just what happened. And yeah, I've learnt to fake being well. When you see me 90% of the time, I do look fine, but it may be a day that I'm so exhausted, and yeah, like nearly every day I wake up feeling tired. There's not a day that goes past that I will wake up feeling refreshed, pretty much. One of the most common things, like across all chronic illnesses and across just so much stuff, is fatigue, which is something that's so hard to understand if you've never had fatigue before. And it is basically it's not like being tired. It's almost like your body weighs so much, every move feels like an effort. It honestly feels like you've just done 3 hours straight of super intense workout, and all you want to do is put your head down. And obviously there's varying degrees of fatigue. It's basically, you know, you will go to sleep and you're not going to wake up feeling refreshed. A normal person, you get tired, you have a nap, you wake up feeling better. I can have a full night's sleep and I'll probably wake up feeling the same. So postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, or POTS for short, because it is a mouthful to say, it is a condition in which the autonomic system does not function properly. And so basically the stuff your body does automatically, like your heart rate, blood pressure, vein constriction, breathing, pupil dilation, like your temperature, like that stuff isn't regulated properly because your autonomic system doesn't regulate it properly. And the main features of it, like the condition, are a really high heart rate and unstable blood pressure. So some people get it really, really low, some people get it really high, and then some people don't have too much of a change. But it's basically when you stand up, your blood pressure drops and your heart rate goes up to compensate for the drop in blood pressure. So I eat copious amounts of salt, like it could kill a horse, to try and combat this. I take salt tablets as well. On top of that, I have to drink lots and lots of water because the salt makes you more dehydrated, but then it also keeps the veins constricted. But then I also need more water to keep the blood volume up. So it's like one depletes the other. Yeah, so it's like you kind of got to balance them. The main problem is when you're upright, which is the orthostatic part of the name. So when you stand up, normally a body would go, okay, cool, we need to tighten the veins. Mine don't tighten, so they just stay the same. And then my body is trying to keep that blood going back to my brain, and it's not the greatest at it. Hence why I have to manage it with medication and doing these remedies. There's no cure for it. It's mainly the salt thing, which is the biggest help for most patients. I recently found out that it's the biggest help for me because this week I've been really unwell. I hadn't had my salt tablets for 3 days, and normally my heart rate, because I've been stabilized by doing all these things, normally my heart rate doesn't go up that much, but it was 149 when all I'd done was stand up. And if I was to train at 80% of my heart rate at the gym, I'd be training at 167. So that's like not that much difference. Like 149 is like some people's 80%. Like it's ridiculous. Like that's so high. You should not have a heart rate that high. And yeah, so it was just making me so fatigued. I slept all day just because I couldn't get up, and yeah, it just showed like how much the salt helps. The thing is though, POTS isn't something that's rare. Like 1 in 100 teenagers will develop it, and they may grow out of it or they may have it for life. It just depends. So I may grow out of it or it may be for life. I more than likely will find that my symptoms will ease as I get older. Basically hormones make it worse and everything. So yeah. I guess the thing is with people with chronic illnesses, they are so good at managing whatever symptoms and stuff they need to manage, and it just becomes a part of daily life. Yes, it's hard, but we don't have a choice. Like, it is what it is. Your attitude kind of has to change when you have something like this that is going to impact you, and you just have to adjust to accommodate for it. For me personally, that means knowing when I need to take a rest, take a break, whether that's a full day or just a nap to keep myself going. When I'm out and I'm standing a lot, I start to shut down when my blood's not getting to my head, in the sense that it's almost like I'm just like this. Like my personality kind of just disappears. It's like everything kind of, I don't know, I just stop talking much, and I kind of like don't really interact with the conversations. And yeah, I just find it really hard to concentrate. Like my vision gets blurry. I can't follow the conversation because my head doesn't have enough blood to keep the brain functions going. I found that, and it's crazy, but when I'm out, like the best thing I can have is mac and chips with crap load of salt. Like I literally just get the salt sachets and tip 1, sometimes 2, depending on the day, on top of them, and it helps so much. It's literally like I'm a different person, like when that happens to when I've had the salt. Like you can instantly see the switch in me and my body starting to respond again. The funny thing is, because I'm fatigued so much, the times in my vlogs that I'm actually more like bubbly and, you know, funny and all that, well, most of the time I film fatigued, but when I'm at the stage that's fatigued but not so fatigued that I can't function, I'm more fun because I've taught myself to switch on and pretend I'm fine. So I guess, you know, you just do what you gotta do, and to me that's fine. Like I'm used to being fatigued, and that's just my normal, that's my life. Like it doesn't affect me as much. It's more when the fatigue gets to a stage where I struggle to function and all of that. But yeah. You know, the side you don't see is the one where I'm out and I've got my head down because I feel so unwell. And I remember I was doing an internship and this was at a point where I was starting to get unwell again, and I just remember being so exhausted because it was 5 days in a row. I wasn't even doing 5 days of school at that point, and I just remember crying on the way to it. And then I remember getting out of the car, I walked in, looks like nothing had ever happened. You know, those are the moments that you guys don't see or that people don't see, and they're the moments that make it hard for people to understand how can you be like that and then like that. They don't see that side of you, so they don't fully understand the impact it has on your life. That's why in my Instagram, and like especially on my Instagram, I'm trying to share more of you with you guys. Like, I'm not necessarily posting a photo of me, you know, laying there unwell, but you know, putting in the caption that this isn't from today, like I was too unwell to go out, so that you guys can see that side of me as much as you see the side that I normally show you. I want to use my voice to talk about it and help raise awareness and help people out there know that it's okay to not be okay, and that they are so strong for just getting up every day and getting on with their lives. I mean, there are areas of my life that have been impacted by, like, apart from just daily functions, like so I'm on my L's at the moment because I'm 16, so I turned 17 this year, but I more than likely won't be getting my P's this year because I get so fatigued, like, because the fatigue affects your brain function, and also when I'm upright, so like even sitting makes it harder for me to think and process stuff. Driving isn't always safe for me, so 9 times out of 10, if I don't drive in the morning, then I can't really drive for the day because I just get so fatigued behind the wheel. Again, I just had to change my attitude, and it was, well, it's not the end of the world. 9 times out of 10 I'm with my parents anyway, because who's gonna take my Instagram photos? But like, it's literally not the end of the world. You will get them eventually. If it just takes you a tiny bit longer, then so be it. At least you're safe, and at least you know when your body needs to rest. I mean, more than likely I will probably get my P's and I still won't be able to drive for long periods of time. So I guess that's kind of like the attitude you gotta have, as far as, you know, it's not the end of the world, like there's ways around it. I also have, I guess school was another aspect, well not I guess, school was another aspect of my life that was quite impacted by being sick. So when I first got sick, which was when I was 13, I didn't start school until 3 months into the term, so I was late to year 7 because I was in hospital at the time. That was when I was getting diagnosis, and when I had been so sick for so many years undiagnosed, so my body was at a point where it just was so unwell that it took so many months to rehabilitate it before I could get back to school. And even then it was, you know, days on, days off, half days. Like, I can't remember the last time I'd been at school where I've done a full week. And then year 10, like as in it kind of got better, and then year 10 came and I started getting really sick again, because it like plateaus. It's almost like a wave. It's like you have alright-ish times. So like at the moment I'm probably in an alright-ish period when I take my salt tablets. Yeah, so I'm probably in an alright-ish period. I still get really fatigued and stuff, but I'm doing so much more than I normally would, and it's not limiting me to a point where I can't do what I want to do, so I would count it as alright-ish period. But yeah, like I was missing so much school, and it was awful. Like, you know, as far as friendships go, you'd walk into class and you've been away for a week, and you don't have that chance to bond those friendships the same way as someone who's there every day. And it was almost like walking in as an outsider every single time I went to school. As far as in the classroom goes, I know that part as far as school goes, that was really hard for me, but I've learnt to be okay with that. And I think as far as a person goes, like it's really made me grow. Should have stayed in school, my English is so bad. It's helped me to grow and to be okay with being on my own. Like, I'm really independent. I don't need someone there to hold my hand 24/7, and I'm okay being the third wheel. You know, I've learnt how to sit myself into situations where I feel uncomfortable, and now I'm happy to be uncomfortable. Like, I like it. I know that it helps me grow, and I know that it's going to be okay because I've done it so many times over and over again. So towards the end of year 10, I was just at a point where I was so sick. I was missing so much school and like even the work. the schoolwork wasn't necessarily an issue. It was more like missing exams and stuff and getting the assignments done in time because they take so much time. And in the end, it was just, you know, going into year 11 and 12, it was like I'd started doing year 11 and it was just way too much because the sitting was so intense. So I was doing this at home because then I decided, okay, well, I'll do schoolwork at home to try and make it better. But yeah, it was just too much for my body. I'd do schoolwork and then it'd be a day of rest because I was so tired. And yeah, and then I wasn't able to do YouTube because I was just so tired and I didn't have time to do my photos and it wasn't making me happy. Like, I was miserable. And so we decided, okay, mum and dad said, look, we know that you're really driven and that if the time comes that you need to go back to school to do whatever it is, or to get into uni, to do a degree, or whatever it is, we know you'll go back to school and do it. So they let me do YouTube and stuff, and since doing it, my health has been so much better because it's not the same mental stress as schoolwork is because you're not reading as much and all of that jazz. But yeah, I think when you have something that impacts your life like that, you've got to find what makes you happy and do it as much as possible and focus on those things that make you happy. And just honestly, the biggest help to me has having the belief that everything happens for a reason. Like, I wouldn't be doing this if I never got sick. I wouldn't be making this video if I never got sick. Well, one, because the video is about what I'm sick with, but I wouldn't have been on YouTube. So yeah, everything, when I'm having hard times, I just got to believe everything happens for a reason, that no opportunities that are coming my way are going to be missed just because I have a day off. And yeah, I may not be able to work as many days as some YouTubers or work as many hours as bloggers and everyone, but I can work my hours and as hard as I can. And I know that if I'm putting in as much effort and love and everything into what I'm doing, then if it's meant for me, then it will happen. I'm gonna leave this video here. I really hope this helped at least one of you guys. Feel free to share your story down below in the comments, because let's get a conversation started, you know. Feel free to ask any questions you have, like, nothing's out of bounds, just go ahead and ask. But the more we talk about it, the more awareness we're gonna have for it, and the more people are gonna feel less isolated by having something that impacts their life every day. I love you guys, thank you for watching, and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye lovelies.